Good evening or morning or afternoon, depending on what time zone you're in. It is time for another chat. So grab a beverage of choice and let's talk. Tonight I've got an interesting drink. This is mushroom coffee. Not sure if any of you guys have heard of it. It's this brand called Rise. This is not an ad whatsoever, just something I'm trying out right now. Apparently mushroom coffee is supposed to be really healthy for you, has a lot of benefits. It tastes really good to me. I add oat milk to it, it's very creamy. So anyway, that's my drink tonight. I hope you guys are grabbing a beverage of choice and let's talk. So today's topic is going to be a PSA for mothers and anyone who interacts with mothers and feels the need to give mothers advice. So there is a huge difference, a very key difference between offering genuine advice that is legitimately meant to help someone and imposing your method of doing things onto someone else or making them feel bad because they don't do things the way that you do or did. And the reason I'm bringing this up, once again, it all comes back to social media. I saw another post today of a mom sharing something about her motherhood journey. She was sharing how she had a rough night with her baby. She was sleeping like in the crib with the baby because the baby would not sleep on their own. They wanted to be near the mother. And so she posted like a video of her sleeping in the crib with the baby. The baby was totally safe. The baby was, up and like touching her and like just crawling around the crib, just antsy and like not wanting to go to sleep. And the mother was in the crib with the baby, like trying to soothe them and help them go to sleep. And there were all kinds of comments of people just saying that, this is the big one. This is the really, this is the comment that bugged me the most. There was a dad on there who commented that she was letting the baby control her life and just basically saying that she had no sense of discipline for this child and that she was just letting the child run the show and not and basically just letting this child take over her life. And that, with his kids are all so successful and so hardworking, and that he facilitated that by not letting them run his life and all this kind of stuff. And the comment really bothered me because, one, this is a baby we're talking about. It's not a child who has thought or, is able to control their actions. It's a baby. So to sit there and say that you're letting a baby run your life, first of all, yeah, that's kind of what parenthood is. They do take over your life in a way. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. They're a child. They require 24/7 care. And again, we're not talking about just a child. We're talking about a baby. They require 24/7 care. They can't do anything for themselves. They can't even communicate, with words, obviously. All they can do is cry. So yes, in some ways they're going to take over your life to a certain extent. That's normal. That's parenthood. Now, I'm not saying that means you don't have a life once you become a parent. Obviously, there's a balance. But to a certain extent, they're going to take over your life. Your life is going to change when you have a baby. That's point number one. Point number two, again, this is a baby. It's not someone that you can reason with. It's not someone that you can discipline. It's not a 12-year-old kid who's talking back and needs to be put in their place or whatever. It's a baby. So to sit there and say, oh, you're letting this child run your life. No, she's just being a good mom and sacrificing her needs for this baby and trying to facilitate sleep. And so yeah, once again, it just kind of brought me to feel the need to talk about it because it just really bothers me, people being so hard on mothers and parents in general. It's not just mothers. I know people are just critical of parents in general. And then there were also lots of other comments of just like other moms just saying like, oh, you need to do this instead of sleeping with the baby or, letting them make you lose sleep. You need to be doing all these steps to get them to sleep through the night and all this stuff. And again, I'm sure that some of them were genuinely trying to be helpful. But again, you have to consider any time that you're trying to give advice to another mom, you have to understand and realize that just because something worked for you, it's not necessarily going to work for everyone. And so And again, I'm not saying, like, please don't take this as that you shouldn't give other moms advice, because absolutely, sometimes getting advice from other moms is fantastic. It's exactly what you need. You know, you need someone saying, hey, this worked for me, maybe it's something that you could try. But it really comes down to the tone of how you are displaying the advice, what, your tone. I don't know how else to say that, I guess. If you're being very judgmental and you're saying you shouldn't be doing what you're doing right now, you should be doing this, instead of saying, this is what I tried and this worked for me, I don't know if it'll work for you, but it might be worth a try. That's fantastic. I love when other moms give me that kind of advice. That is perfect. But when you're going into someone's comments on social media and you're dropping judgmental connotations, saying things like, you shouldn't be doing this, you're a bad mom because of this, this and that, then it just becomes where it's not really genuine advice. It's just you trying to impose your method of parenting onto someone else, not knowing their situation, not knowing their child, and that's just simply wrong, and it's not helpful, and it's frustrating, and it makes mothers feel judged. So yeah, public service announcement, like I said, if you're a mom, or even if you're not a mom, if there's a mom in your life that you feel the need to give advice to, not saying that you shouldn't whatsoever. Again, if it's genuine and you're trying to be helpful and you are approaching it in a kind and understanding and empathetic way, fantastic. Please give suggestions. However, if you're approaching them with a tone of judgment or this is what I did, why aren't you doing this? You shouldn't be doing that. That's just not okay, because again, there is not a one-size-fits-all for parenting, unfortunately. I wish there was, because that would make it a lot easier for all of us. But unfortunately, that's not how parenting works, or really anything in life. So just seriously, guys, please be kind to mothers and to people in general, obviously, because this advice can be applied to anything. It's not just motherhood. I just have, ever since becoming a mother, I think I've just noticed it a lot in motherhood, and just, because now my social media is, all centered around motherhood, so I'm always getting these motherhood posts and seeing and going through comments, and I probably need to stop doing that, honestly, because it's discouraging as a mother when you go into these comments and you see moms judging other moms, and because there's been several times where I've gone into social media comments and seen people bashing on, something that I did with my baby because it worked for us, and saying, oh, that's the wrong way to do it. And then I feel insecure in my motherhood or in my parenting decisions because people on social media are saying that that's not the way you're supposed to do it. And it's I have to kind of check myself and remember, these are literally strangers on social media. They do not know me. They do not know my child. They do not know my situation whatsoever. So their comments saying, you're wrong, this is wrong to do, you shouldn't be doing this, you should be doing this, those comments are really invalid because they don't know my situation, they don't know my child, and that's really the gist of it. So just, I guess, some advice. We're talking about the proper way to give advice, and I guess I'm gonna give some now, but this is genuine, this is meant to be helpful. If you're a mom, or again, even if you're not, because this applies to anything in life, take other people's advice with a grain of salt, and don't let other people's advice discourage you if it's done in a hateful way. If it's done in a way that's, you're wrong, if it's done in a judgmental way where they're just trying to prove that the way that they've done things is correct or the right way to do it, it's not genuine advice. They're not genuinely trying to help. So don't let it discourage you or let you doubt yourself as a mother, or again, with anything in life. Just don't let that kind of behavior cause you to doubt yourself or question what you're doing. Man, during these talks, I always forget to drink my drink. I hope you guys are drinking whatever beverage of choice while you're listening to this. Creamy mushroom coffee. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a great night. Please keep this in mind. Again, whether you're a mother or not, just be kind with your advice and be genuine if you're going to give advice. All right, good night.